Hey everybody, Pastor Vern for November 24th, 2020. It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday in November, by the way. And next Tuesday will be December 1st. We're moving right along to wipe out this year of 2020 and move into the next year where we all pray that we have some brighter times and maybe a little less stressful conditions as we move through 2021. All right. Well, we're talking about phrases from the Bible this week. As before we get to Advent, once again, I wanted to lift up to you uh, the that we are going to begin Advent in the coming Sunday. We will not have worship in Belgrade, or we will have worship in Belgrade and Cedar, but not in Fullerton or St. Ed for this week. I am hopeful that we'll be back in all the churches December 6th, and we'll just kind of go from there. Moving into the Christmas season, which may have, it's going to have a different look to it. There's no doubt about it. It's going to have a different look in the church. But we're going to do whatever we can to make it something that we can make it the type of celebration it should be. So, okay, now we're talking about these different phrases, right? Yesterday we talked about flesh and blood. That's one that goes into our societal language or societal talk pretty commonly with something we'd hear. Now, here's one that we don't hear much anymore, and I understand that it was very common a long time ago, and it was really common in the South, and maybe you would have heard it there. It's land of Goshen. Land of Goshen. It's kind of another way of saying, oh my goodness. One of the things that's kind of interesting about this is being a Southern phrase. It had some connotations to actually to people who were in slavery at the time, and that's what I understand. I don't know a lot about that period of history in the details, but it was a phrase that would use that because the land of Goshen was a place where the Israelite slaves lived while they were in Egypt. One of the things that we kind of relate to this land of Goshen thing is that, this was something that's a setback, something that it was an explanation of something that isn't going the way we think it be, and we just don't know why. It's just a phrase that gets shot out. We used to watch some old programs on TV when I was a kid. A lot of them, I think, were in black and white. And they would have some characters there that were supposed to be kind of backwoodzies types, if you know what I mean. And they would say "land of Goshen" would be one of their phrases. In fact, it comes from Exodus. The 8th and 9th chapters of Exodus talk about the land of Goshen, and so they use it as kind of a lament then, which is talking about how things are difficult and not what we would ask them to be. And so that's kind of one of those phrases too, with that land of Goshen. I think I was told in my little bit of research I've done here, one of the reasons another reason it was a phrase used in the South a lot was the type of preaching that was done there. That was in the time period probably from about 1800 to about till after the Civil War, at least. The preaching had very much of an Old Testament tone to it in a lot of the churches or a lot of the denominations in the South. They did a better job of blending the messages of the Old Testament and the New Testament together in their preaching. Of course, also one of the things in the subscript of that is sermons at that point of time in those churches often last anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. That was the sermon part. There's the 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Probably they did a better job of linking the two testaments together than we do today, when we tend to restrict the time of preaching to 12 to 15 minutes in our case normally. So that just kind of one of them interesting things that we hear about. I know I'd heard my mom say it a couple times when we were young, and then I've kind of never heard it anymore. So it was just kind of one of those things that was a phrase that's kind of lost its favor. Um, well, I guess that's it for today then. Watch out for yourselves. Take care of others the best you can, and stay safe. And we'll see you later. Bye.